Hi everyone, welcome back to Mike on Mike. Today we'll be checking out these movies: The Brink of War from Angel Studios, The End of Oak Street from Warner Brothers, Nimrods from Inaugural Entertainment, Paw Patrol the Down movie from Paramount Pictures, The Rivals of Amziah King from Black Bear Pictures, and Six the Musical Live from Focus Features. And then we'll see if they're gonna pop or flop. Here is the first film, The End of Oak Street, and here is a trailer that we can check out. It has 32 million views. Pretty awesome. 2 minutes and 22 seconds. So here we go.
Did anybody else see that weird light last night?
What weird light?
The wind was blowing all crazy. Starbuck would freak down barking.
Could have been lights from a helicopter.
Or a UFO? Aliens.
Shut up, Dad.
Water's not working.
Looks like the whole neighborhood's lost power.
The hell was that?
We can't leave.
I think that our neighborhood, our house, our whole street has moved.
How the hell is that even possible?
Get out of there! Run!
What the hell's going on?
Get inside now!
I just heard a gunshot.
I don't need you to worry for me, 'cause I'm alright.
Gather supplies. Grab anything you can use as a weapon.
I don't care what you say anymore. This is mine.
What are we gonna do?
We're gonna survive.
Leave me alone.
God's not gonna let us die here.
Greg, you only go to church at Christmas and now you're telling the kids God's looking out for us?
What about the people who are out there getting eaten?
I don't need you to worry for me, 'cause I'm alright.
So yeah, that's a cool trailer. I don't know. Does it seem kind of not too epic? I don't know. It looks like Jurassic Park mixed with something, But so yeah, it looks pretty cool. It looks like a good trailer. I feel like it kind of, I don't know. Does it maybe shows certain things, but it kind of, I feel it doesn't. I feel like it's a movie that doesn't need to be really shown. Like, you don't need to be shown that much. It's literally just time travel and Jurassic Park or something. It's not too elaborate or complex. We get some comments on the YouTube trailer. There's 8,980 of them. Someone said Stranger Park Jurassic things. That's funny. Someone said it's over Anachosaurus. I have the high ground. Jesus Christ. Someone said the T-Rex wears Prada. Someone said, I swear that dog better survive. Regardless how this movie turns out, it's still nice to see other dinosaur projects outside the Jurassic franchise. That's funny. Then some said Anne has a problem, Anne has a solution, Anne has a will, Anne hath a way. Jesus Christ. I'm so happy campy movies with ridiculous premises like this are making a comeback. Let's bring back the whimsy of the one-shot Imagine If genre. That's cool. I'm feeling like this, like it's a zombie apocalypse, but instead of zombies, it's dinosaurs. A Quiet Place, but this time with sound. With this movie and Spielberg's disclosure, this summer feels like the summer of the 70s movie. That dog had better survive, edit, and that goes for the cat too. Playing for Jumanji in the last house on the left end of Oak Street in the Jurassic Park home development of Cloverfield. Wow. A dinosaur movie that doesn't remind me of the other dinosaur franchise. That's cool. All right. Well, yeah. So I think we're good on that. We'll go to the IMDb page. It is PG-13, an hour and 40 minutes. Wow. They're gonna get right to it then, I guess, or something like that. Let's see. Dinosaur adventure, survival, time travel, action, adventure, mystery, sci-fi, thriller. Here's the plot. The plot. That's funny. Family bands together to navigate their new surroundings after a cosmic event transports their suburban neighborhood to someplace unknown. Wow, funny. 6.6 stars so far. That's not amazing, is it? David Robert Mitchell. I don't think I'm familiar with this guy. Here is a director, David Robert Mitchell. He has done. Oh, he's done those other ones. It Follows. I haven't seen that one. Under the Silver Lake. Haven't seen it. It Follows. Wow, this is like his. Wow. Oh, these are stuff he produced. What's upcoming? They Follow. Evergreen Pines and The Fading Summer. Cool. Director, End of Oak Street. Yeah, all of those. Cool. I've never seen It Follows. That's pretty cool. And then he also wrote it. And then the stars are Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor, and Maisie Stella. I'm not familiar with her. Christian Convery. I'm not familiar with him. Jordan, Alexa Davis, PJ Byrne. He's in it. Cool. Oh, Pilot Bunch. His name is Pilot Bunch. Wow. Who else? Walker Russell. Cool. Let's see. Not too many known people. Here is the AI summary. Reviewers say The End of Oak Street delivers a stellar thriller ride with masterful suspense, exciting action sequences, and authentic 1980s Spielberg-style nostalgia that Anne Hathaway anchors brilliantly. However, the film frustrates many with illogical character decisions, inconsistent internal rules, and lazy plotting that that undermine the experience. While some find it engaging throughout, others report the middle section drags significantly. The nostalgic charm and genuine thrills may satisfy genre fans willing to overlook substantial narrative weaknesses. So, the nostalgic charm and genuine thrills. Yeah, well, that's with a lot of movies. I mean, even the new Spider-Man movie has some issues, and people are overlooking that. So it says, however, the film frustrates many with illogical character decisions, inconsistent internal rules, and lazy plotting that undermine the experience. So it's just things that don't make sense. Like the new Marvel, all this stuff, There's all these time travel rules and things that it complicates a lot of stuff, and it's unnecessary. We don't need all the rules and everything. So this film has 251 reviews. 7 out of 10 is the first one. This guy said, fun and refreshing. The End of Oak Street is a fun and surprisingly interesting take on the dinosaur genre. The premise alone caught my attention. A suburban neighborhood from 1982 is suddenly transported to a prehistoric world filled with dinosaurs and other ancient creatures. Instead of going for the usual humans recreate dinosaurs storyline, the movie takes a more unusual approach with time, space, and a mysterious cosmic phenomenon. Cool. What I enjoyed the most is how entertaining the movie is. Once the neighborhood reaches the prehistoric world, it has funny moments, some tension, and a very enjoyable dynamic between Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. Their chemistry as a couple works particularly well and gives the story an emotional element beyond the survival aspect. The prehistoric creatures are also one of the movie's highlights. It doesn't limit itself to dinosaurs, but includes a wide variety of prehistoric animals, which makes the world feel more interesting. Wow. The movie also has a plot twist that, while not mind-blowing, adds an interesting and entertaining turn to the story. My main problem is that everything happens too quickly. At around 1 hour and 40 minutes, the movie doesn't have much time to slow down and develop its ideas. There are several things that are barely explained, especially the wormhole and the reason the neighborhood was transported to the prehistoric era. I don't think every movie needs to explain everything, but here I felt that just a little more context would have made the story much more satisfying. Overall, The End of Oak Street, tough name, is an entertaining and refreshing dinosaur movie with a great premise, good chemistry between its leads, and some fun ideas. It may not fully explore its potential, but I enjoyed it much more than I expected. Wow. That sounds pretty good. It's funny that it looks, to me, what I was thinking of, my first thought, is that the 1 hour 40 minutes is like, oh, it's going to happen very quickly. You know, they're going to get right to it, whatever. And then I said, oh, it's because probably something big happens in the third act, right? And they get to it because the thing happens, right? That was my first thought. So yeah, pretty funny. Next one is 7 out of 10, an engaging survival adventure. This guy said, positives, interesting and unique premise, engaging survival elements, strong performances, especially with Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor, good visual presentation and creature sequences. The adventure elements keep the film watchable. Short runtime helps maintain the pace. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. Negatives, screenplay doesn't fully explore its promising concept. Some emotional portions feel underdeveloped. Suspense isn't consistent throughout. Final payoff could have been stronger. The End of Oak Street is an engaging survival adventure with an interesting premise, good performances, and some impressive creature sequences. While the screenplay doesn't completely capitalize on its concept and the emotional depth could have been better, it remains an enjoyable watch overall. So that's good. I like how he kind of laid it out and everything. Say this is I think this is a good review of this. Definitely seems good. It seems like, I mean, the premise, I don't know, there's gotta be some like similar movie out there, but the idea is cool, and yeah, I guess it doesn't explore it much. Maybe this could have been a miniseries, 4 episodes or 6 or something. Let's see, this guy gave it 5 out of 10, saying poor execution but still fun in parts. I mean, it's a fun, interesting concept, but just fails to be something great. It says, okay, so this was a very mixed bag for me. I love dinosaurs, so of course I had to see this crazy concept with them in it. And I did really enjoy all the dinosaur scenes, and then looking different to other interpretations in film was cool. Neighborhood being transported to Jurassic period and time travel-esque things happening, sure, that's cool too. What the heck? But them trying to survive was painful to watch. The kids were stupid and annoying to the point where I felt unrealistically stupid, putting themselves in danger constantly too. In fact, most people put themselves in danger in stupid situations they really didn't need to be in. Some of them sure gotta have the thrill, but no common sense is where the line is drawn. They tried to do some romance plot with a daughter and some random girl. What? Which felt absolutely pointless and out of place for what was happening, like LGBTQ stuff. Same goes with pointless discussions. You do not need to be having marriage and job conversations whilst trying to board up your house to prevent being eaten. Just crack on. I just feel like so much more interesting and realistic stuff could have happened, but it all felt off and dumb. The ending was an intriguing turning point, too, until it delivered a huge plot hole. Wait, okay, hold on. I'm going to skip that part. Don't read it. The acting was really... Okay. The acting was really bad, too. I'm sorry for Ewan's performance. Was just bad. I'm not sure why, since he's a good actor. The kids were awful. Anne Hathaway saved the film and carried it on her back with the only good performance this film had to offer. Wow. That's... that's sad. I got to see a Titanoboa snake in this, so that's bonus points. Wow. Entertaining and cool dinosaurs, but super aggravating. So I guess that was a spoiler. I don't know why they didn't block that one. Whatever. So, yeah. Kind of interesting, I guess. Yeah, it seems like that. I think we're probably good on these. I feel like it's more of that dumb kind of like, I don't know, for the sake of being funny and not what would the characters say. The characters wouldn't do that. The writer is the one who's going to do that. And I think that, like, yeah, they try to do this forced comedy thing that is funny and popular, and it's like, you need to do what's natural. What would the character do? You don't try to get a rated R rating. Don't try to get a PG rating. Write what you're gonna write. Let the MPAA, whatever, let them do their thing. That's their job. You're the writer, you're the director, you're the actor, whatever. They're gonna write the movie. And yeah, the same thing with the writing. Don't write what other people are writing. Write what you write. Come up with the characters and the premise, and then write the script based off of how the characters would react. You know, what would the characters do? The characters are gonna joke like this, really? Every character jokes the same way. You know, if it's for a different reason or something, yes, okay, that's fine. But yeah, the most thing is just they need to not copy all of this stuff, like all that humor. They need to be different too. The movie's already short enough. It's like it's too short apparently, and the premise isn't explored all the way. And then the twist is something, but there is a twist, so pretty hilarious. Anyways, we can move on to these Rotten Tomatoes for this film. It had 86% from the critics, and then 78% from the audience. Critics' consensus says, tapping into the primal pleasures of the classic creature feature, the end of Oak Street is pulpy good fun carried off with a light touch and a sharp bite. Yeah, so pretty cool. Now, for a few critics' reviews, Augustin Perez from immo.com says it is fresh. It's the adventure prehistory needs, but not one will remember for long. That's cool. I wonder if 3 out of 5 though. Yeah, all right. This lady, Kristen Maldonado from Pop Culture Planet, said it is fresh, wild, chaotic, and thrilling. The stakes are sky high in the end of Oak Street. The film has a Spielbergian charm that reminds you of the big adventure movies Hollywood used to make. Okay, well, you know what? That's cool. He does long sequences, like Adventure of Tintin and, you know, of course, Indiana Jones. But he does long sequences of things. And, yeah, so that's good if it has that. And if it takes up most of the thing and you just focus on that, then it should be fine, right? Denise Arslan from Battle Royale with Cheese says it is fresh, 8 out of 10. The end of Oak Street turns a dinosaur adventure into a warm family story, blending time travel, 1980s nostalgia, thrilling action, and genuine emotion without losing its charm. David Nusser from Real Film Reviews says it's fresh, 4 out of 4, a superior summer blockbuster. David Griffiths from Subculture Entertainment says it is fresh, 3 out of 5. Filled with suspense, some genuine surprising moments, and awesome retro film score. This is a movie that conjures up memories of those amazing films from the 80s and 90s, and certainly won't disappoint those that love a good popcorn movie. Yeah, okay, I think we're good on the critics ones. We can check out some audience reviews from Rotten Tomatoes. It looks like people are liking it, though, so that's good. That it's entertaining, right? That's the main thing, is that it is entertaining. Chris gave it 5 stars, saying it was definitely a horror dinosaur movie we haven't had before. Kept you on the edge of your seat with lots of surprises. Sucker Movies gave it 5 stars, saying awesome movie. It had action, emotion, and a couple of great surprises. We truly enjoyed it. Courtney C gave it 4 stars, saying definitely scary, but maybe I'm weird, since I've always been terrified by dinosaurs, because I've known since a very young age that if it existed when they did, we would lose our apex predator status. My only gripe is the father something. That's so funny. Like, and then David D gave it half a star, saying this is the most stupid film I've seen in years. When Yoon got his leg munched by a dinosaur, the cinema I watched it in erupted in laughter. This is not a spoiler. It's a pile of garbage. Terrible. Jesus. That's hilarious. I wonder if they're going to be the, memes and jokes and all that stuff. Kay Lee gave it 1, 2, 3 stars, saying shots were cool, but I feel like the acting and some CGI were weak. I wonder if there's actual puppetry or anything in it. Michael K gave it 5 stars, saying thrilling, suspenseful, funny, and heartwarming. Love a 90 to 100 minute runtime. There you go. Okay, yeah, I think we're good on these ones. We can go to IMDb page and give my final reviews for this film. I do feel like it says it's gonna pop. I don't know what the budget is. We'll go down here and see what other stuff there is. A trivia was Oscar Isaac was originally attached to the project. He later dropped out and was replaced by Ewan McGregor. Pretty funny. Goofs after delivering pizzas. Greg has his son Brian help him remove the pizza delivery sign from on top of his car and put it in the garage. However, an exterior scene a little while later shows the pizza delivery sign is still on the car. No one said, hey, wait, it's not a big deal, but it's just pretty funny. Here's the box office so far. It is Sunday, by the way. I'm a little late here. $85 million budget. Oh, I don't have that on here. $85 million dollar budget. So it's $85 million. Then I feel like this is probably 14 worldwide. Oh my god, I hope that's not true. Okay. Well, I want to say I'm gonna say like 40 probably. I'm gonna say this is gonna flop with 40 million. And then where is it gonna come in on the leaderboard? Definitely top 20, right? For sure. Then probably top 10. So I'm gonna say number 8. Dude, I don't think so. If it came in first place, it would be hilarious. But yeah, I'm gonna pick 8th place. Okay, the next movie we can check out is this the Brink of War film. We'll watch the trailer right now. It is 2 minutes and 23 seconds. So that's cool. 17 million views. Not bad. And this is from Angel, okay? This is the new studio that's kind of making a big name for itself and almost lost everybody with Animal Farm. But they did Young Washington, I think, and then this now. So, yeah, they just need to stay neutral. Don't pick a side. Don't alienate people. And yeah, just be a neutral studio, but make entertainment. And I think they're doing well now. So, very cool. We'll watch the trailer now.
We face an enemy that is ever growing. We need to protect the American people.
President Reagan, you got us here, sir. You got the Russians to the table. Gorbachev came to play. But if we fail here, there will be war.
Of all the places on Earth you could pick for a meeting about the fate of the human race, you picked a house in Iceland?
Perfect for security.
Good to see you, Mr. President. You're early, always looking for the advantage.
I never imagined I'd see the controls for 70,000 nuclear weapons in the same room.
Here we are, the two of us, deciding whether there will be peace or war in the world.
We have tens of thousands of nuclear warheads all pointed at each other.
Why don't we just get rid of all of them? Every single nuclear weapon on Earth gone.
This is a fantasy. You have come in here with a fantasy.
I know how lonely the job feels, being responsible for millions of people.
The Russians will not listen unless we are strong.
You have a history of suspicion of us.
He is scanning all our communications.
How do you expect my people to trust you?
The United States will remain strong. We can strike you first with impunity.
We will strike as well.
The arrogance of the Americans. We are a strong people. And we have learned that strength is how you win a war.
We're not trying to win a war. We're trying to end one.
Wow, the music is so cool. It sounds like Tenet, didn't it? Didn't it sound like that drum, that one part, whatever. That's cool. I like it. I'm not really very familiar with this, what it's based off of. And then what was the other movie that just came out? Nuremberg, right? I think it was Nuremberg. Just came out, and that was about the weather, right? And all that stuff. What's his name is in it? Yeah, that one guy. Oh, no. The other guy. But yeah, and that is one of these historical movies, based off of something. They also did Washington also. So that's part of, like, I guess they're doing historical stuff possibly. Oh, adapting all these stories, like Valkyrie with Tom Cruise, or I don't know what else I've seen. But yeah, that's pretty cool. The trailer looks good, I guess. It showed a lot. But again, like, my thing was that if you know this story, like, of what it's going to be, it's not really a surprise to you, If you're a historian, you're just going to see how accurate they made it, And, possibly critique things they've changed or, I don't know, portrayed wrong, something like that, right? Or didn't include or exclude, just to maybe, even influence people. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, not even do a true adaptation or, anyway, stuff like that. So, but yeah, so it's more about the portrayal. It looks like Jeff Daniels is really going to portray or do a character of Ronald Reagan. That's crazy. And then, what's his name? That one guy, I forgot who, as Gorbachev, I forgot his name. How do you say it? And then J.K. Simmons as, I forgot who they said that he was playing, but we'll check it out in a bit. That's so cool. It's going to be all about performance and suspense, I'm assuming, or something like that. I wonder what, it sounded like Tenet, which is Christopher Nolan, right? So that sounds really cool. But yeah, I don't know, a good trailer. Maybe, yeah, I don't think it ruined anything because, again, yeah, I think if you know history or whatever, for the new people, you're going to learn about it. So this is educational, and hopefully, maybe, possibly, the studios, said, hey, maybe we can make this so that schools can play this to the kids, as it's like a double thing. It's a movie and it's actually educational, which could be a reward, Friday movie day, pizza day thing, that type of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But I think they have a young Washington. I wonder how many more they're gonna do. Pretty cool. So yeah, we can check out some comments for this YouTube trailer. Someone said Professor Legasov really climbed that Soviet leader or ladder. I don't know. Tell me, Mr. Gorbachev, how does an RBMK reactor explode? That's funny. Then Jeff Daniels has played every U.S. president except for Benjamin Netanyahu. Yeah, Jesus. Gorbachev, were you rushing or were you dragging? Someone said, it's interesting Jared Harris is playing Gorbachev while he played as Soviet atomic scientist in Chernobyl series many years back. That's funny. I am absolutely positive Reagan did not suggest to get rid of all nukes. See? I wonder if there's any changes in it. I wouldn't do that. You just gotta adapt the truth, I don't understand that. Do something else if you're gonna, do that. Do a what if, like Marvel did. Do a what if and then do that type of a thing, Someone said, sir, the explosion radius is 5 kilometers every direction. J.K. Simmons, not my tempo. Someone said, Jared Harris as Mikhail Gorbachev. I've actually never been more seated for a movie in my life. Someone said, we are farmers, but... Wow, that's funny. Someone said, makeup artist nailed Gorbachev's birthmark. Someone said, Comrade Dyatlov's opinion of that meeting. Not great, not terrible. And then someone said, Jeff Daniels didn't even try to do a Reagan accent. Wow. Someone said, I'll watch J.K. Simmons in anything. Okay, I think we're good on that. We can go over to the IMDb page and check this movie out. I don't know how long it's going to be. Oh, almost 2 hours, 157. So that's not bad. And then it is PG. So that's cool. That's so interesting. That's, like a movie like this, you would think it'd be like PG-13 or maybe rated R, right? It's PG. Oh my God. I told you, Angel needs to do something to be different. Whether that is, I wouldn't do political stuff, right? Just be neutral. Be neutral. Let us decide. But their thing should be clean material, right? Like, to actually do, you know, imagine if Oppenheimer didn't have all the sex stuff, right? Imagine if it was actually PG, I guess, right? No cussing, no whatever, you know, all that stuff, right? Or something. Like, it'd be interesting, right? Like, it'd be different, you know, kids could watch it, basically. And Oppenheimer was actually part of history, so, you know, it's like, that one's actually one of these types of movies, you know? It's kind of hilarious. So, anyway, yeah, let's keep going here. Docudrama, period drama, political drama, drama history, thriller, war. President Reagan races to save a nuclear deal with Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev as pressure mounts all around him. Every spoken word could move the world closer to peace or destruction. Wow. Then it has 7.0 stars so far. Michael Russell Gunn. Do you think he's James Gunn's older brother or something? Or younger brother? I don't know how many guns there are, right? There must be a lot of guns for hire. But, yeah, I wonder how many guns there are. I know there's Sean Gunn and James Gunn. Do you think this is Michael Russell Gunn? It's spelled the same. I feel like there would be at least some of them. He doesn't even have a photo here. Well, what do you say about that? That's funny. Why? You know, maybe he's not that good looking, you know? He's very creative though, you know? Very creative. He's just not that good looking or something. That'd be so funny. Let's see down here. So previous Thai Cave Rescue, 6 episodes. Wow, almost 8 stars. Wow, these are high ratings. These are shows. Wow. Black Sails, Designated Survivor, then Billions, another TV show, and then a 4th TV show, Thai Cave Rescue. I bet you he has more. 10 episodes. He's co-produced though. Oh, this is producer though. I want to see what he actually did. My bad. Let's see. Wow, he wrote some of them. That's still crazy. Wow, and the Newsroom. Oh. Wow. This, oh my god. Well, this guy's got a good, impressive resume. That's crazy. What's upcoming? Alone at Dawn. Post-production. He's finishing that. It's probably going to be good. I wonder where that's going to be at. Let's see. All right, here it is. So, Alone at Dawn. Action biography, drama, mystery, war. The plot is mortally wounded aircraft combat controller John Chapman fought valiantly to save his fellow soldiers. Years later, an intelligence officer leads an investigation to shed light on his heroism. So this is like, wow. Okay, so Alone at Dawn. Wow, so that's a show. That's pretty cool. Ron Howard's gonna direct it. Written by Michael Russell Gunn. Wow, Amy Herzog, Larry Chapman, Longfritz. Wow, Anne Hathaway, Adam Driver. Wow, Betty Gilpin. I'm not familiar with her. Wow, when is this supposed to come out? It's finishing up here. Wow, check this out. I know I'm going a little off topic, but this is the guy's next thing that's come out after this movie. Anyway, okay, I guess we're probably good. You guys could probably check this out on your own. But anyway, that is cool. That's upcoming for this guy. Pretty cool. He also wrote it. Wow, that's awesome. Written and directed by. Very cool. Very talented. Here's a cast. Jared Harris playing Gorbachev. So I'm not too familiar with him. Hope Davis. Then a J.K. Simmons. Who is J.K. Simmons playing exactly? George Schultz. That's who he's playing. And then the rest of these, the cast is here. A bunch of, I guess a couple of mostly unknowns. I don't know. That's awesome. So here is the first, the summary. So it says, reviewers say The Brink of War delivers stellar performances and exceptional historical accuracy in depicting the pivotal 1986 Reykjavik Summit. Yeah, I am not familiar with that. The film excels as an educational experience, making complex Cold War diplomacy accessible and thought-provoking. That's what I was saying. That's awesome. While most found the dialogue-heavy format engrossing and dramatically tense, some viewers struggled with the talking head approach, finding it occasionally boring or unfocused. The nuanced portrayals avoid simplistic hero-villain dynamics, though a few felt certain characterizations fell short. So that is that's cool though. Historical accuracy. And this is AI of what everyone's saying. So most people are saying something about it being historically accurate. So any one thing you really read that isn't, it must be not real, right? It must be fake, right? So there are 157 reviews. The first one here is 10 out of 10. The brilliance of Reagan captured on film. As an Angel Guild member, this was a movie I was eagerly anticipating seeing in the theater, and I left not disappointed one iota. I served in the U.S. Army under both Presidents Carter and Reagan. Wow. You know, that's another thing, too. Oh, my God. Everyone who's involved. Wow. This must be really cool to actually experience. I recall very clearly how ill-prepared our army was under President Carter and the low morale the troops had. In came President Reagan. The message being circulated was that he was a warmonger. So there was definitely apprehension among those who were serving at the time. However, was entailed was a president who began to rebuild the military, supplying us with updated weaponry and insisting that we fulfill our physical and mental standards of military service, which meant taking good care of our equipment, continuing training our minds, and building our physical health through our daily physical training. Morale jumped under this president. So I was particularly excited to see this movie, and honestly, I did not realize just how close we had come to nuclear war. But the warmonger, quote unquote, actually wanted peace and to leave this country safer for the time, and to leave his country safer for the time he would not longer be its presiding officer. President Reagan was a brilliant man and had the nickname the Great Communicator. I felt that this nickname, although not mentioned, was demonstrated in his negotiations with Gorbachev, especially at the very end in his dialogue with George Shultz. I won't say what that was, but it truly let the audience know that he had the command of the situation. That's probably maybe even part of like the climax and spoiler, so that's good. I also felt that Gorbachev was portrayed well, and that he was a man who wanted better for his people. Rather than continue down the rat hole the USSR was going, he made choices that led to its breakup, and the people have been the better off for it. J.K. Simmons was indeed a brilliant George Shultz. The movie was very well cast. I agree to a point with those who felt Nancy Reagan was portrayed somewhat negatively. Wow. She did seem to be very shallow initially, and I don't think she was in real life. Maybe that's just bad acting from the actor. I don't know. She and something like that. Or she and Ronald Reagan had a genuine love for each other, and that was displayed in the back and forth they had on the phone together. And she was bright enough that she wasn't going to be one-upped by Mrs. Gorbachev. The CIA KGB scenes were perhaps unnecessary, but they added a little lighthearted comedy to the film, and they did have the effect to show the tension that actually existed between those two enemy combatants. I left the movie feeling even more love for President Reagan, feeling that he was truly God's man for the time of our country. Wow, that is so incredible. Don't go watching this movie expecting action and adventure, because you will certainly be disappointed. Watch it as if you are in the negotiating room with these two great men, along with their supportive staff, and you will not be disappointed. That is crazy. That is almost pretty good enough to just leave it on that. I'll read a few more, I guess. This guy said 10 out of 10, The Brink of War. What an accurate depiction of the events and time period, I'm assuming. Besides the tension stateside here in USA, it was just intense in Germany with many bases on alert. The actors in this movie made it seem like you were there. We need more people to truly watch this movie and other movies that show us what we have here in America. Yes, there's probably going to be more, I'm assuming. The USA history is based on human liberties, and without the Republic, we would not be the people would not... We will not be who we are, I guess. And if they give up those ideas, we will give up our freedom and life as we know it. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll do a few more. 10 out of 10. Be a fly on the wall of history. 10 out of 10. Wow. Okay, well, this could be fake, right? But those seem pretty good, and there's probably, probably people like the movie, or whatever. We will go over here and we will check out the Rotten Tomatoes. So it is at 72% from the critics, nothing from the audience yet. I wonder why. It's kind of weird. And then we will go and check out some of these, some of the critics' reviews, what they're saying. Steven Silver said, he's from the SS Ben Hecht. Said it's fresh, saying Jared Harris is convincing as the last Soviet leader, but Jeff Daniels' Reagan impression is inconsistent. Okay. And then Todd Gilchrist from The Wrap says it's rotten. Guns lacking aptitude, as a first-timer feature director limits the drama that can be wrung out of two men, even these two men, bickering in a room with one another over the fate of humanity. Another thing is that, yes, some people could be getting their politics involved in this, in their reviews, and I don't think you need to do that. I think you need to just give the rating on the movie, type of a thing, and just rate it on the movie, if, you know what I mean? I don't know. You don't have to, let the politics get too involved or whatever. Patrick McDonald from HollywoodChicago.com says it's fresh, 4 out of 5, saying, nicely done historical overview that despite the Reagan love, manages to create empathy through great performances. Jeff Daniels, in particular, brings a humanity to Ronnie and some stellar cinema. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down our perceptions. Oh, wow, that's hilarious. Keith Garlington from Keith and the Movies says it's fresh, 4 out of 5. With The Brink of War, writer-director Michael Russell Gunn and chronicles the Reykjavik summit, offering fascinating historical and political perspectives into the talks, their ultimate collapse, and the shaky trust that grew between the two leaders. Pretty cool. Let's see, Michael Cook says it's fresh, 7.5 out of 10. If you're a big history buff, this movie's for you. See, yeah, I think it's going to be good. Here's a rotten one. Michael Clark from Epoch Times says it's rotten, 2.5 out of 5, saying, except for successfully imitating Reagan's imposing gait, Daniel's rendering is an absolute train wreck, appearing not even to try to capture Reagan's voice, speech patterns, or facial expressions, really. Daniels is way out of his depth here. Jesus. Interesting. Oh, Jeremy Johns. Let's check his out. He says it's fresh. Of the movies you will sleep through in history class, this one is pretty good. There you go on that. I think that's pretty hilarious that he said that one. That's funny though. Jeremy Johns says yeah, you're gonna watch it in class. That's exactly what I was saying. They literally, I hope Angel Studios said that in the meeting, So here's some audience ones. Frank D says it is 2.5 stars. I must admit I have been a little bored. The idea was great, but too superficial. Jeff Daniels is excellent as always. However, there is more to explain the end of the Cold War. My negotiations with allies collapsed on the side, something. And then Jaden V gave it 1 star, saying 70-year-olds arguing for 2 hours. What in the world? That's funny. David O gave it 5 stars, saying 100% must watch, has a very good plot. Cool. Julie gave it 1 star, saying the characters were poorly developed. It's see that stuff makes me laugh because how it's based off of the history, Valkyrie. You'd be like, this is boring. That's what happened. that's what happened. If you changed it, it wouldn't be that. That's the story. You could move it back a bit so the big thing happens at the end, maybe. But you want I think you want to include the aftermath. I think, or something. I don't know. I don't know. These ones make me laugh when they say that. I didn't there was a funny one once. Oh man, if I remember, I'll say it. That was so funny. A review. I'm like, why? How are you? That's what happened. That's so funny. Nanya B, that's hilarious, gave it 5 stars, saying a great telling of what happened when Reagan and Gorbachev met to discuss nukes in 1986. I was a college freshman without a clue as to what was going on in the world. So glad Ronnie did what he did. Mikhail too, pretty cool. yeah, so pretty awesome on that. We will now go back to the IMDb page and give my final thoughts of what is going to happen with this film. I think the runtime is good, you know. If it's over 2 hours, you know, some people will be like, oh, it's long. So it's right under it, so you can't say it's 2 hours, you know. Yeah, let's go down here and check if there's any anything else. Rated PG for language, thematic elements, and smoking. So they probably say damn, maybe the S word, maybe the B word, but see, that's cool. Unnecessary F words sometimes, you know, just to be rated R. It's like, come on. Here's a trivia. Jeff Daniels had previously portrayed a U.S. president in The Crossing, where he played George Washington. Wow, I don't know that. However, he depicted Washington before he was president in the latter film, whereas he portrayed a sitting president in this film. Oh, that's funny. I don't know who he played in that show, The Showroom or whatever, the Newsroom, whatever. But it was a political movie, so that's cool. Down here, let's see if there's anything. Only 2 million? Oh man, darn! It's probably a $40 million budget. I don't have any budget info here. I could search it, as well as my other question of, is James Gunn, is this guy his brother? You know, I kind of wanna find that out. Well, it doesn't really actually. It doesn't have the budget out, so. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of strange. So I'm gonna assume 40 million, and just for fun, here is the Google search or Microsoft search, Copilot search, whatever. For is Michael Russell Gunn James and Sean Gunn's brother? So he's not. He's a different person. He's a former U.S. Army officer and businessman, not related to James Gunn by blood. Anyway, I just had to search that one. I think that's so funny. Yes, we'll go back to my final thoughts here. I am gonna say that I think it's gonna do okay, but I mean, it's already made 2 million. Darn. I know today is Monday and I'm making this video. I've been a little busy lately, so making everything kind of late. But without looking yet, I'm gonna make the next video today or tomorrow and let the box office really get a good number for my guess. We'll see where we're at tomorrow or today, whatever. Maybe I would do it today. And then yeah, so I'm gonna guess it would make 2 million total. I mean, Jesus, what am I gonna say? I'm gonna say it made 2. Well, I guess I shouldn't even guess. I would have guessed 5. I mean, yeah, it's Monday, so yeah. I mean, there you go. It's 2. So whatever. It flopped. I'm gonna say it flopped. I know it's already. I'm supposed to be doing pop. I would have said it was gonna pop. How about that? I would have said popped with like 20 million. That's what I would have said. And then, yeah, that would have been my guess. I will write that anyways. I will say pop with. I was gonna say 20 million. And then I would have said, well, I don't know what would I said. Oh my God, yo, homie. And then what would I said of like, its position? I would have said top 10, right? I would have said top 10, I think. But like specifically number 9, right? I don't know, maybe. But that's what I would have said. And then the next video we'll do that. So I guess we'll check that out. 20 million. We already know I made 1 million. That sucks. Or 2 million, whatever. So we kind of know that. So I was gonna say whatever, that this film would pop with 20 million and be in 9th place is what I would have said. The next film is called The Rivals of Amziah King. These are some strange film names. But yeah, so this is, I guess, a movie with some big stars in it, obviously. This is from Black Bear and hold on, where's the other one? It was them and so Black Bear Pictures. Oh, I guess just Black Bear then. Oh, okay. I thought it was them and someone. All right. Black Bear Pictures, 2 million views. This is 3 months ago, but yeah, anyways, we'll check the trailer out now. 2 minutes, 14 seconds. So here we go.
I am Amziah King.
Listen. There's truth, and there's lies, and everything. And I'm here to tell you what's the truth and lies. You ready? Oh my God. I didn't know you're back around here. I got a big haul coming up, and I could use some help.
Do you think I'd be able to do it?
I know you'd be able to do it. Follow me. What's your honey?
White clover.
That's a pretty rare crop.
God bless us all, everyone.
Y'all reckon we could talk to Amziah?
There's been a lot of honey, Biff. It doesn't look good.
If you really want to ruin someone's life, you take away everything.
I would be careful poking around in this business. It is not full of kind people.
This isn't just theft. There's a design and a cruelty to this.
Someone loaded up everything he built and took it all away. And I'm gonna find them. And I'm gonna take it all back.
You'll be stealing back some honey.
I know the weather, I know the bees. I know the point where anyone else would give up, and I won't.
Are we getting paid for this?
The hell of a thing to rebuild. Makes you realize how much we ought to savor the taste of that honey. Get ready, my little chickadee. Bees only swarm when they are ready for a fight.
All right. Well, my first thoughts. Geez, they didn't need the show so much. I think looks cool. It's a honey movie. I did not expect that. And it's Amziah, Amziah, right? That's what he said, Amziah. So it's more of a character-based thing. It's about his performance, probably, and what he does with the character. So this is a B movie, no pun intended, or whatever, or reference. So that's interesting. I wonder if this is based off of anything, like this is actually based off of a historical thing, like what Angel Studios is doing. Here's some comments. People are for the trailer. Some people are saying, the film's gonna be great when Matthew races on a truck with his daughter. 159. Some said, all right, let's do this. The Vast of Night was one of the most uniquely beautiful films I've ever seen, and I've seen a bunch of them. That alone would have me excited for this, but this looks amazing in itself. So exciting. Someone said, it might seem random, but it irritates me slightly that this kind of project isn't embracing a really filmy look. I think some high contrast, high texture cinematography would really complement this sort of film. That's interesting. Especially really real movie stars like McConaughey. I just really like to see them shot on film. I wonder if, yeah, that's cool. If Christopher Nolan did it, it would look differently. His best performance in over a decade. Does this mean that he gave us Cooper more than 10 years ago? Wow, I feel old. One of my favorite movies from last year is finally getting released. Y'all better see this when it comes out. It's incredible. Someone said, finally, Andrew Patterson made another movie. After watching The Vast of Night years ago, I made a promise I'll check everything this guy does, so I'm in. Someone said, finally, Matthew McConaughey is back. Someone said, this looks like fun. I appreciate these original movie concepts. So yeah, anyways, it looks like people are liking it, so that's good. I feel like the trailer shows a lot, but we'll see if it if it actually does give off spoilers or anything. I feel like it showed enough that you could probably pick that's in the third act or whatever. Other than that, we can check out the IMDb page, and it is rated R, so that's interesting. It does have its own look. That's cool. This seems so random, but maybe it's a hidden one. Matthew McConaughey wants to kind of leave a few hidden ones for his fans to discover later, or something like that. Even Kurt Russell, but This is 2 hours and 10 minutes, rated R. Wow. 2 hours and 10 minutes. I bet you it's going to be like dense. You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know, you know, enough that this guy draws you in or whatever type of stuff. You know, like people love McConaughey. So the tags are caper, contemporary Western. Oh, now that's cool. You know what? That's funny. It is kind of a Western, so you know what I mean? Like one of those kinds of stories, I guess. Dark comedy, crime drama, thriller. The plot is Amziah King, beekeeper, musician, and anchor of his community, or Amziah, I'm going to fix that, reunites with former foster daughter Kateri after many years apart and fends off threats to his honey business. Pretty awesome. It seems like it's going to be good. Maybe he has a problem and it's going to have an arc and it's going to be like, I need to fix this, you know, whatever. Written and has 7.4 stars too. That's not bad. Written and directed both by the same guy, Andrew Patterson. I'm not familiar with him. Pretty cool though. This is all the other stuff he's done. Not much, really. What? No way. This is his second movie. Wait, what? Really? This is his second movie and he gets Matthew McConaughey and Kurt Russell? Holy crap. Nothing's been announced for upcoming for him. That's crazy. Well, I wonder what this is going to do. This is Monday. I'm making this. I'm a little late, whatever. But, what do you think? 80 million? 100 million? I have no budget info. I bet you it's 80 or 100 million. You think? I don't know. And today's Monday, so it's probably flopped already. I don't know. 15, 20 million, 40, 50, maybe 60. I would say it would flop with 60 million. That's what I would say. But because of the budget, you know, but it's probably good. You know, I don't know. The AI summary, I guess, says, reviewers say the rivals of Amziah King delivers exceptional performances, particularly from Matthew McConaughey and breakthrough star Angelina Lookingglass. Oh, that's a name. Whose chemistry provides genuine emotional depth. The complex characters, heartfelt storytelling, and Southern-influenced musical score earn consistent praise. However, opinions divide sharply on pacing, with some finding the runtime bloated and exhausting, while others appreciate its natural flow. Okay. The writing receives mixed reactions, ranging from Oscar-worthy to disjointed, making this a polarizing yet memorable experience. That's really funny. That's what people are saying. Angelina Lookingglass. We'll check. Wait, what? Let me check the cast again. That's someone's name. Angelina Lookingglass. Oh, maybe she's Native American. I was gonna say. Okay, that's crazy. She's very. That's so cool. She's very beautiful, and yeah, So, is this her first role? No, she's been in, as well as she's doing a show right now. And upcoming is War Angels. So, wow. Maybe Angel Studios could call her up and they could do a historical movie with Native American stuff. No, you know? And then she'll have more roles. That's so crazy. I didn't really check the cast. Tony Revolori's in it. Kurt Russell. Cole Sprouse is in it. Wow. Well, that's cool. That's cool. All right. That's awesome. Wow. Let's check out the user reviews. 27 of them. First one is 5 out of 10. Messy but strong first half. A messy movie that had potential. The opening scenes are fun, kinetic. You feel like you're being welcomed into a tight-knit rural community. Matthew McConaughey plays the role of yet again Matthew McConaughey with his homespun, let me drop some wisdom on you persona. Yeah, that's probably why they got him. The second half, the tone changes, and we're supposed to believe, though, whose foster kid is some kind of superhero Queen Bee as she exacts revenge. Hopefully those aren't spoilers. This one says 9 out of 10, a film that will have you smiling throughout. The Rivals of Amziah King is the feel-good movie of the year. A vibrant, heartfelt surprise that feels as infectious as it is unexpected. Andrew Patterson crafts a distinct vision, immersing audiences in the world of beekeeping in the American South while using music, community, and deeply personal relationships to give the film a genuine sense of place. There's an undeniable warmth running through the entire film, but Patterson never allows the warmth to become overly sentimental. Instead, the movie finds its charm in the eccentricity of its characters and the lived-in world they inhabit. Much of the film's energy comes from its filmmaking. The sharp editing, dynamic camera work, and textured production create a world that feels constantly alive. Patterson has a unique visual rhythm, particularly in the opening where the editing can initially feel unconventional and almost disorienting. However, as the story develops, that stylistic choice begins to reveal its purpose, eventually coming full circle in a way that makes the film's earlier choices feel more rewarding. It's a movie with a personality of its own, and that personality is one of its greatest strengths. The performances are equally infectious. Matthew McConaughey delivers one of his most endearing performances, bringing an effortless charm and emotional sincerity to the film. But it's Angelina Lookingglass who truly breaks through, no pun intended, with a captivating breakthrough performance. She brings an incredible presence to the screen, granting the film emotionally while giving her character a sense of authenticity that makes every moment feel earned. The film isn't without its flaws. Around the halfway point, the pacing briefly loses some of its momentum, causing the story to slow down more than it should. Fortunately, the lull doesn't last long, and the film quickly finds its rhythm again. If anything, the uneven pacing is a small blemish on an otherwise remarkably confident piece of filmmaking. That is so cool. That definitely sounds great. Yeah, it looks like it has its own style and aesthetic and everything. Ultimately, The Rivals of Amziah King is humorous, vibrant, soulful, and a pure joy to watch. It's the kind of movie that sneaks up on you, winning you over through its characters, music, atmosphere, and sheer sense of life. Andrew Patterson has created something refreshingly original and deeply infectious, a film that feels less like a conventional crowd pleaser and more like a warm, unexpected discovery. That's what I'm thinking, that, some artists possibly, can do things, like leave some movies behind that you could discover later, basically. And yeah, and then fans will discover it, at the store. Like, what? I never saw this, I haven't seen a lot by some artists, which is great, right? So gives you stuff to look for to watch in the future. This guy gave it 10 out of 10, saying a surprisingly good movie. I really enjoyed this film. I honestly wasn't sure what to expect going into it, but it ended up being one of those movies that keeps you interested because you never quite know where the story is going. McConaughey was perfect as Amziah, but Angelina Lookingglass really surprised me as Kateri. Their relationship gave the movie a lot of heart, and I loved watching anything Amziah taught her come into play as the story unfolded. The mix of beekeeping, bluegrass music, family, community, crime, and revenge sounds like it shouldn't work together, but somehow it does. Laughing, crying emoji. The bee scenes were especially fascinating, and knowing they used real bees makes them even crazier. It's funny at times, emotional at others, and then suddenly turns into something completely different than what you thought you were watching. Definitely worth seeing. That's got to be on purpose. Obviously, like some type of artistic choice. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Ain't no one all bad or all good. 2 out of 10, absolutely awful. We'll check this one out. A 2 out of 10, absolute awful. 1.5 out of 5. I am absolutely baffled by this movie's ridiculously high score because, honestly, it was absolutely awful. Don't waste your time watching it. It was bizarre, painfully disjointed, and the storyline was all over the place. Nothing made sense, and the whole thing felt like a complete mess from beginning to end. I generally cannot understand how this movie is rated so highly. Not the best Matthew McConaughey's movie. Not the best of his movies. Go see the End of Oak Street movie instead. That's pretty funny. What else we got here? 4 out of 10. Wow, I really didn't know what to make of this. Matthew is a really good actor, but this was a mess of a movie. The writers completely screwed this thing up. No rhyme or reason to this story. The music was horrible. Several religious, political, and ideological messages intertwined in the movie. I did notice Matthew never showered, or at least washed his face. What? Or trimmed his beard. I love bees and honey, but come on, this was truly a turd. So do they say the date? Like, oh man, these 1800s, or does someone have a phone or something? I didn't see that. Did I see that? I don't remember. I think it's pretty hilarious. I think we're good on that. We will now go over to check out the ones on Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like, today is Monday. I feel like this would flop, right? I don't know if it wasn't really advertised too much. Hopefully it's cheap. Hopefully it's 20 million. I don't know. Anyways, here on Rotten Tomatoes, it is 89% from the critics with 78% from the audience. The critics' consensus is The Rivals of Amziah King is a sprawling, unpredictable, and genre-blurring epic anchored by McConaughey's charm and Angelina Lookingglass's striking debut. That's pretty good. And then we'll start with some critics' reviews. Steven Silver from the SS Ben Hecht says, it is fresh, a southern symphony of music, crime, and honey. You've never seen anything quite like this movie. McConaughey's best performance in several years. Adam Olinger from Adam Does Movies on YouTube says, it's rotten. There is a really special movie hiding somewhere in this bloated, awkwardly edited film. 24 minutes could be shaved off this thing, had the director lingered less on the main actress. Then it's the fact that it's more of a showcase for her. Andrew Parker from The Gate says it's fresh, 8 out of 10. It's a movie of indulgences and payoffs that zigs and zags like an electric pulse, always knowing where it's heading, but never taking the most unexpected path to get there. Eric Childress from Movie Madness Podcast says it's fresh, 3.5 out of 4, saying not often does a film come along that you can honestly say not recalling seeing one quite like it before. McConaughey and Angelina Lookingglass are incredible, and Andrew Patterson is a name we need to see in credits regularly going forward. Yeah, that's pretty good on the critics ones. Looks like it's kind of mixed, but more to the good side. Audience reviews, Giovanni P. gave it 4.5 stars, saying an amazingly funny, sad, and uplifting movie and one of Matthew McConaughey's best. The music is fantastic. Kurt Russell is perfect as the bad guy. And newcomer Angelina Lookingglass is great, and she becomes the something pretty awesome. So that's definitely looking good for her. Roy J. gave it 5 stars, saying you won't see a more original movie this year. I don't know if I'd describe this as a revenge heist thriller or a charming family musical drama. Andrew Patterson is a filmmaker to watch out for. Bruce H. gave it 4 stars, saying captivating story and great acting, Americana music, movie making like we didn't see too much, but that we don't see too much of anymore. Zachary S. gave it 4.5 stars, saying The Rivals of Amziah King is the feel-good movie of the year, filled with surprises and an infectious sense of energy. Andrew Patterson crafts a distinct vision, immersing us in the world of beekeeping in the American South throughout something. That's good. Well, I think we're good on these audience reviews. So yeah, it looks like people are liking it and everything. We'll go back here for my final thoughts on this film. I think it's good. Yeah, 2 hours and 10 minutes is probably too long. It is also rated R for language and some grisly images. Wow. So it's actually violent. So this guy's gonna murder people for over honey? Oh my God. Yeah, that sounds super intense. Here's a bit of trivia. Although the story is set in Oklahoma, much of the film was shot in central Alabama during the summer of 2023. Locations included the Frosty Mug in Jasper, J&J Grocery Store and Deli in Bessemer, Pell City Steakhouse, and numerous sites around Birmingham. That's awesome. I wonder how many people are going to be, hey, that's me in the background or something, or I shopped there. That's so cool. Let's see. Oh, it's made $1 million. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. I know today's Monday and I'm late on making this video. So I was gonna say 40 million. I was gonna say 60. Like, I feel like years ago, these movies would make 60. Well, I was going to say that it was going to flop with 60. We now see that it made 1 million. So, geez. So we're not sure if it's like actually legitimately good in the way that, you know, like bots flooded it or something like that, you know, and are trying to make it look good or something for the studio or whatever. It made $1 million. Oh my God. I still can guess on the where it's gonna place on the leaderboard. I'll be making my next video in a bit, and then we'll see the results. So I was gonna say it would have flopped with 60 million because I bet you the budget's like 80 million, right? I don't know, or you know, maybe even 60. But 60 total, nothing overseas. These movies don't do anything overseas. But 60 total worldwide. So, but we already know that it did flop with 1 million. That's so sad. Anyway, I think that, yeah, I was gonna do that, whatever. And then I think that this movie, they place well on the leaderboard. A lot of these movies are getting 8th place, like Ice Cream Man. A lot of these movies are getting, what was that one that just got in 3rd place or 4th? I was like, wow, really? The Purge, The Urge, that one, the love one. That's 4th place or whatever it said. That's crazy. So I was going to say top 20. I would say specifically in 15th place for this film. The next movie we can check out will be this Green Day film. Apparently, Nimrods, kind of random. This is pretty much the first band I got into, so it's pretty hilarious. They went pretty hard with the politics and whatever. I'm fine with that, but the insulting part gets to, you know what I mean? Like, if different forms of it is just like too much. Whatever. So this, I've always thought, but besides that, they're very talented musicians. Obviously all their songs, Nimrod, everything. All their albums, whatever, international super hits. American Idiot is where they changed their look to more like an emo punk look, I guess. Kind of cool, I guess, whatever. And then ever since that one, American Idiot, they said, or there was a rumor, or I thought that they should make a movie out of American Idiot. There's a few short films or something. They did Jesus of Suburbia or something. And then Homecoming. I don't know if it's like a mini movie or a music video or something. But they made that, and I always thought that they should make a movie. And I thought they said they were going to make a movie of American Idiot because the character is like this main punk kid. You know, it was set up to be a movie. I don't know. I think. But it's just funny because, yeah, they should have made a movie then. Maybe they were developing a movie and they wanted to make something good. You know, maybe self-financed, so it's free. Or, you know, whatever. You know, like, not anyone's money, really, you know. Which is a good thing, rather than, you know, a studio or whatever. But yeah, this is pretty cool. So we will check out the trailer. This is pretty random film. Like, from Green Day. Like, it's so random. So anyways, okay, we'll watch the trailer now.
We just wanted to give you this. That's our demo.
Anal OG dogs?
No, it's analog dogs.
Is that your phone number on there?
Yeah. We just met Green Day.
Liars.
Put the ladder back up, Tommy.
Hello? Is this the anal dogs?
You're not gonna believe this. Trey Cole called. What?
He loved our demo.
He invited us to LA to open for them on New Year's. Can I take your car?
No, because you don't have a license.
Come on!
Well, how are we getting there?
We're taking Wayne's car.
How are you opening for Green Day?
Honestly, I don't know.
Are you guys gonna kiss? Because I mean, maybe. If you come back.
Mushrooms?
Still, what? No. I don't have hands. You drove away with this in your vehicle. We're a band, we're opening for Green Day. Nobody gives a shit.
Give him hell.
Cool. Okay. Well, I gotta say, I like that trailer. It doesn't. There's a story, right? Who knows how it's gonna go? That was nice. That was just not even 2 minutes. That was pretty cool. I like that trailer. It didn't seem to give away anything. It looks pretty fun. Hearing that Green Day music again is pretty crazy. I used to listen to them so much. Like, I know all their lyrics and stuff to the songs. Wow, that's cool. I like it. It's they're in it. That's kinda. That's cool, and it looks entertaining and everything. It looks cool. Definitely probably rated R, I'm assuming. But I like that trailer. It's pretty cool. Seems very straightforward. Doesn't seem like it's just like giving you a feel of the movie, you know. And then it does have 4 million views. And this is from their actual page. So that's pretty cool. I think that's so funny. We can read some comments for the trailer. This guy says Green Day is gonna drop a new album called Analog Dogs. I'm calling it now. You know, this could be an ad for like their upcoming album, and they're doing a movie to announce it. That's cool. Like 3 birds with 1 stone. No, something like that. And then someone said, I can't wait for the part where they get called Nimrods. And then later they go, we can't do this. We're just a bunch of Nimrods. And then near the end, they triumphantly go, we're Nimrods. Time of your life playing during the credits is on my bingo card. Wow, you know, they can literally like score their own movie, and they get to license all the songs or whatever, or approve all the licenses, whatever. That's pretty cool. I wonder if they're gonna do that. Actually play Time of Your Life or any other songs at different moments or something. Someone said, IDKY, I thought it was going to be a documentary. This is even better than I had hoped. Yeah, I wonder if it is. It looked like a movie, right? Like an actual movie. Not like a, yeah, you know, I guess it was a movie, right? You think they're going to perform like in the movie as themselves or something? That'd be pretty cool. McKenna and Mason find their way to each other in every universes. That's cool. That looks like a genuinely good indie comedy. The music is the icing on the cake. I never thought I'd be seeing Pam as a middle-class suburbs mom with a Sharon haircut, but here we are. And then someone said, I thought this was about to be a documentary, but this is even better. So that's good. Looks like people are liking it. I think the trailer is good. It doesn't seem like, it doesn't really seem to give away too much, other than like obviously showing that there is a story of some sort, and that is pretty cool. But yeah, it would be hilarious if it was an ad for like some, I guess, upcoming album or something. Here is the IMDb page. Rated R. It is 1 hour and 47 minutes. Not bad. That's good. And then rated R. Comedy, drama, music. The plot is 3 buddies drive cross country in a van, causing mayhem and mischief while racing to LA for the big break, opening for Green Day on New Year's Eve. Wow. Cool. The rating is 7.2. It is directed by Lee Kirk. I am not familiar with him. Let's see, 1971. And here's all the stuff that he's done. Nimrods, Ordinary World, 5 stars. The Giant Mechanical Man, Pants on Fire. Willie Wisely, Through Any Window. And then The Benefits of Drinking Whiskey. Short, The Man Who Invented the Moon. Directed pretty much, The Office. 1 episode. Wow, that's cool to put on your resume. And he's acted in some specials, Pants on Fire, PG Porn, and The Office. Lee Kirk wrote it, also alongside Green Day, altogether, and specifically Billy Joe Armstrong himself. Here is the cast for this film. Mason Thames plays Tommy. I don't think I'm familiar with him. Kyler Kaufman plays Fred. Ryan Faust. Jenna Fisher. Who else? Of course, Bill Joe Armstrong, Mike Dirnt, and Trey Cool. And who else? Probably gonna be like celebrity cameos or something like that. You know, people you probably don't want to be spoiled by being in the movie. Let's check out Mason Thames and see what he's done. Oh wait, he's a kid from the Dragon movie. Oh, okay, that's good. He's definitely getting like such a good variety of work. Oh, they're making a second one. Wow. Okay. Cool. Well, that's pretty good. And then who else? Kyle Kaufman. I think we're good. Let's just move down here. We'll check out some ratings. No AI summary. 20 reviews. 1 out of 10. A love letter to consumerism. Not punk music. Nimrods packages a diversity of punk and post-punk music into a product, making you believe the genre is all about drinking, drugs, girls, and being rebellious. The movie is entirely made to stroke the egos of Green Day band members, with no effort made in regards to plot, characters, or originality. It ignores the roots of punk music and uses only the aesthetic as a cheap background for a highly forgettable teen coming-of-age movie. What a waste. That's strange because it's like no mention of the being an ad for a upcoming record. By the way, it says the movie's entirely made to stroke the egos of Green Day band members. Maybe like a fantasy movie for them. I mean, I always thought that they cast a kid, I think, in like the Jesus of Suburbia music video, I think, and a girl who, that's what gave me the thought. I was like, man, I'd like to see a movie like that. You know, I was in high school at the time, you know, so I had a different point of view at that time, but that would have been really cool, you know, and they could have been in that, you know, they could have been like a, I don't know, drug dealer, whatever, I don't know. But the thing here is like, this is a different form of this punk thing that they're doing. And this guy is saying like that they changed, like making you believe the genre is all about drinking, drugs, girls, and being rebellious. I don't know. See, ignores the roots of punk music. But that's the thing though. I don't think it's supposed to be that. Then this guy didn't understand the plot though. I don't know. Unless it's just badly written or something like that. It seems to me that this guy didn't understand the movie, cause it looks like, you know, I mean, what he find out the girl cheats or something. I don't know. What would you do? What would the big climax of the movie be? They get there and then I don't know. I can't even imagine. They tell him you're not good enough, you know, and they what? And then don't believe you're heroes or something like that, maybe, or whatever. This guy gave it 7 out of 10, saying, "Make me up when review ends. I enjoyed this movie. I'm not big on the band Green Day. I've never really been interested in the music, but this movie was easy to keep up with. It was good. A little bit much cussing, a little too much cussing, but good. I give it a 7.4 out of 10. I was one of 4 people who saw it on August 14th at daytime. Quite cool. Wait. Okay. Nice. That's cool. Another thought I just had is this going to tie into the album? You know what I mean? Like, are the chapters called the songs? Or what? You know what I mean? Or did Nimrods have a plot to the album? I don't know. Maybe. I know American Idiot had like a narrative. I don't know. You know, St. Jimmy and all these characters, you know, that I was like, oh, they should make a movie out of this. And then here's like the same review by Zaner112 there and here. The one we just read is that. This one is like the same one. What in the world? Is this a bot or something? It says 7 out of 10. Waking up and the review ends. For me, who doesn't really care for Green Day, I really enjoyed this movie. I liked how they picked easy names to keep up with for the characters. I like how good music. Wake Me Up, American Idiot, No Enemy, and etc. Oh yeah, I forgot they did that new album. I really did like 21st Century Breakdown or no, something. What is that song? Yeah, something. Or the album. I really did like this movie. I give it a 7.4 out of 10. I would watch it again. Compare these two reviews. They're literally, it's like this guy didn't know how to delete this one, so he wrote it again and changed it or something, or the bot did that. This guy gave it 10 out of 10. Best comedy music movie of this year. I mostly don't write reviews, but I always write when I feel a movie is underappreciated. This movie is one of them. The movie does well in all story, music, acting. Hollywood seriously missed these teenage and college life movies. I'm sure most of you want to watch Spider-Man or Odyssey, but if you still have my I still have AMC Pass or some bucks, please do watch this, I guess. You will enjoy it. That is pretty funny. Yeah, see, I mean, I don't know about Hollywood missing these teenage and college life movies, but I think specifically, you know, what I said already, is that Green Day missed a thing with making a movie years ago. I hope this is good though, you know, like if they've really been developing it for that long, I would assume that they've had this idea for at least 5 years. You know what I mean? They must have had it for a while. You know, there's no way they just had this all of a sudden. Like, hey, let's make a movie. And they made it like this year. You know, somebody said it or someone had the idea. And then this one says, 8 out of 10, pleasant surprise. You don't have to be a Green Day fan to enjoy this movie. You just have to remember what it's like to be young. Great little coming-of-age road trip movie. It didn't go exactly where I expected based off of the previews, but I think where it landed paid off nicely. So glad I took a chance on it. That's... I think that, yeah, if maybe there's life lessons in it even too, you know, like something like, you know, like actually education. It teaches you a good lesson or something. This one is 7 out of 10. Welcome to Paradise. I'd much prefer a Green Day biopic, but if a fun road trip movie loosely based on their early days is what we get, I'll take it. Throw in McKenna Grace and there was no way I wasn't going to see this. As for the tone of the film, this is mostly a drama with organic humor sprinkled in. The obvious comparison is Detroit Rock City in 1999. The movie is a lot of fun, a bit long, and surprisingly uplifting. If you're a Green Day fan, I'd call this a must-watch. That's good. So, we're probably good on these reviews. We can go over to Rotten Tomatoes here. What do you think it's going to be at? Probably high, right? Okay, yeah, 75%, I guess. 55 reviews. Less than 50 for the audience, so no score. The critics' consensus is driven by an energetic mix of Green Day hits and deep cuts. Nimrods overcomes its familiar road comedy elements with a charmingly scrappy, do-it-yourself spirit and winning performances. So, yeah, that's great. Seems kind of like a strange description, but whatever. Here are some of the critics' reviews. The first one comes from Nicola Austin from Movie Marker. She says, it is fresh, 4 out of 5. Despite retreading familiar road trip coming-of-age beats, Nimrods is an undeniably charming and scrappy outing packed full of excellent music and heart. George and Josh Bate from Battle Royale with Cheese says it's fresh, 6 out of 10. Nimrods is an amiable, sincere coming-of-age road trip adventure and teen comedy that may not reinvent the genre, but knows exactly why these kinds of stories continue to resonate. Steven Silver from the SS Ben Hecht says it is rotten, a fairly generic road movie centered on the band Green Day, featuring acting cameos and musical performances by the band, plus plenty of their music. I feel like that would be spoilers, and that is what I was expecting. So that's confirmed, I guess, that they do more than just kind of show up on the side. They're actually in it more. I wonder how long, like a full song? That'd be kind of cool. Or an actual scene where they're actually performing, but it's for the movie, you know? And then it's like exclusive performance for the fans. Jason Flatt from But Why Though says it's fresh, 7.5. Nimrods is a nice reminder of what a small-scale movie used to look like while being entirely modern and authentic enough to the teenage experience. That's cool. Simon Foster from Screen Space on Substack says it's fresh, 3 out of 5, saying edgy material and language, of course, but hits the same good-natured sentimental notes as a Neil Diamond catalog repackaging song Sung Blue with Hugh Jackman. But the Green Day fan base loved reading that. Oh, bet the Green Day fan base loved reading that. That's cool. I think we're good on the critics. We'll go over to the audience ones. Looks like people are mostly liking it, though. Here we have the first review from Christopher P. He gave it 5 stars, saying this movie is excellent for Green Day fans and movie lovers alike. It shows just how far some will go to chase a dream and the shenanigans that happen along the way. I took 4 others with me to see it, ages 22, 20, 14, and 9. Wow, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the 9-year-old is probably as mature as the 14-year-old who is mature because of the 20 and 22-year-olds, right? So he's probably not immature that he'll repeat these things in school or something and get in trouble, you know? Probably him and his dad have a good trusting relationship to where, you know, he's not going to act out and do this stuff, you know, yeah, in school and get in trouble and all that. Emily C. gave it 5 stars, saying, an awesome coming-of-age movie, Green Fae. Making an appearance was the cherry on top. Cool. Bill H. gave it 4 stars, saying, as a lifelong Green Day fan, I love this. As a movie buff, I recognize the tropes that have been overplayed. What makes it work is that the writing shows an awareness of the cliches and has genuine fun with them. Oh, well, that's really good. Brittany H. gave it 5 stars, saying, even though I am a huge Green Day fan, I went in with low expectations and was pleasantly surprised. I laughed, I cried, and I loved the Green Day references and Easter eggs. It was a great movie that I definitely watch. Yeah, probably would. Oh, definitely watch again. Yeah, okay, we're good on that. Looks like everybody's pretty much liking it. I think with this film, though, I mean, it looks cool and everything. It's probably going to be very entertaining. I like that it's rated R, you know, at least it's like, you know, it can do it whatever it wants. Let's go down here and check out some extra things like, let's see, okay, here, rated R for language throughout teen drug use and drinking and some sexual references. Oh, no, so no actual sex. Interesting. No nudity, no violence. So just cussing, smoking, mushrooms, weed, all that. Drinking, and then some sexual references. Cool. All right. What else? Trivia. The film's story is loosely based on an actual band named Waterdog, who opened for Green Day before they hit it big. Wow. There's like a tribute movie. Green Day gave the band's demo tape to a music executive friend, which resulted in a label bidding war for the band in the mid-1990s. Wow. Well, that's really nice. This is... Wait, so the film story is loosely based on an actual band named Waterdog, who opened for them. And then Green Day gave the band's demo tape, their band, like, helped them out. Like, that's really nice. And to a music executive friend, which resulted in a label bidding war. Well, that's really nice. And no one mentioned that. Why don't they lead with that for the promo of this movie? They should have had Waterdog in the trailer and intro this or something. That would have been like, wow. Well, wow. Is that not a big deal? Is this not a big deal? This is really nice. That's really nice of Green Day to do that. Is this true? That's pretty cool. Wow, yeah, they should advertise this trivia a bit of trivia more. Goofs when the boys' car breaks down, and the tow truck driver says it's because they put diesel in a gas engine. Car manufacturers make the fuel port on gas cars smaller than the diesel fuel nozzle, so this does not happen. Well, that's funny. Besides the movie, I didn't know that. That's cool. But wow. Well, that's smart. I never did that issue. Even if I messed up for some reason, it wouldn't allow it. It wouldn't allow me to put diesel in the gas car anyways. That's pretty hilarious. Funny. So, and that's a goof. Oh, wait. Oh, I see. You know what's funny? Because nobody knew this. Nobody would have expected that. Wait, they make the holes smaller so this doesn't happen. Wow. You know what? Nobody would have thought. Yeah. I give that. I want to take if I gave a point to the director, I'd take a point back. I'd be like, hey, that's not your fault. Nobody would have known that. That's hilarious. And then no financial details down there. So I don't have a budget for it. Today is Monday, so we'll see what it actually did. I guess nothing. It's Monday. Shouldn't everything be kind of updated? I'm gonna make the next results video in a bit, but right now I am doing the late prediction video. So I would have said, because I don't know what the budget would be. Would you assume that it'd be self-funded? And then would you think it'd be like cheap? 10 million? 5 million? $1 million? You know, these are unknown actors. There's some other big people in it. So what I would say is, for a guess, I would say that this would, regardless, I feel like it would flop because it's such a niche thing or whatever. I don't know. Possibly. And I would say that, I would say that it would flop because the budget, I don't know. I feel like it would flop with, I'd say 5 million, right? 10 million maybe. And we'll find out in a bit, but I feel like it'd be in the top 30 and then top 20, right? Maybe I'm just going to say overall top 20 rather than a specific place. So yeah, flop with 5 million and be within the top 20. And then we can pretend it's still Friday. No, pretend it's last week. That we can check out the current box office. We're also gonna be able to see what popped or flopped. At the same time, I am gonna do another video and go over what people are actually saying. I guess I just realized that this is basically gonna double up as the popped or flopped episode, anyways, because this has the updated ones from today on Monday. So I guess basically, would it be hilarious? I could technically change the show right now, like that. So technically, because I already did my guesses, and now we're about to basically find out what the movies did at the same time. Because I can't really go back and see whatever. Or I can't pretend, whatever, yeah. So End of Oak Street is in third place with 21 million. In domestic. So how much total? $47 million. Wow. I said 80. What did I say? I said 40 million. It's still flopped. The budget's $80 million. It technically flopped. So yeah, the End of Oak Street flopped with 41 million. That's unfortunate. People kind of like this guy's style, though. The movie should have been made for way less without Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway. You know what I'm saying? For this guy, for this not to have happened, it should have been made for 40 million. You know what I'm saying? And it would have made 47, and at least it's over, rather than under. And I don't know what to say. $47 million. Let me write this down here. 47 million, okay? Out of 80 million. You know what I'm saying? Is that just like flopped to 47 million? And it came in what? Fourth place. Now that's surprising. Third place. How that's really interesting. So it could make it has to make 80 million. 47. It has to make another 47 maybe it could do it. Maybe in the 30 days it could hit its budget and go like, yeah, just made it, right? That's possible because there's some issues, but it's pretty entertaining though. So, and there's a big twist in it or something. And I think people are liking it. So maybe it's like people are iffy about it. So maybe this picks up or at least stays steady for the next couple of weekends. Because it's probably going to drop to 10th place or 12th before it's out. Well, no, maybe not. It could drop a little quicker, like 15 or something. I didn't cover 6, the musical, or Paw Patrol. But that's a kid's movie that did very well. That's a new movie that just came out. 68 million. Wow. Not bad. International, it did better overseas. Wow. Paw Patrol did really well overseas. That's cool. We also had the Brink of War. That made $2 million. What? I said that it was going to make $20 million and be in the top 10. Oh my God. It made $2 million. This is from Angel Studios. And they're doing a lot of these movies like Young Washington and all that. And I was saying they almost lost everybody with Animal Farm. So that's, they luckily are retaining everyone, I think. So that's good, the Brink of War, but it didn't do well. And although it's got good performances from Jeff Daniels and J.K. Simmons, as well as being accurate. So that's good. It's a talking heads thing too, a lot of talking and all that. So yeah, anyway, that's good. 7th place though, that's very surprising. I don't think I expected that. I said top 10. Well, all right. What did I say? I said 9th place for the Brink of War. Yeah, I said 9th place. All right, well, kind of close. And then down here we also have what else came out? The Rivals of Amziah King with Matthew McConaughey. Nice trailer. It's a B movie about honey. No pun intended. Or reference intended. So it made $1 million. I hope that this was a cheap movie. It made 70 overseas. That's funny. $1 million domestic. I think that these people leave movies for you to discover later as a fan. For you to walk through Walmart one night, really late, and you see this, you're like, what? I love McConaughey. Kurt Russell? I never saw this, and then you get it. Pretty awesome. What else did we have? Nimrods, I just looked, the Green Day one. $910,000. Darn. 92 overseas, 910 here. $1 million overall. Wow. All right. So these are the results. I'm just doubling it up here. I'm putting the segment here in this episode, I guess. I was going to do a separate one, but might as well double it up and include the segment here since I'm going to be looking at the results basically here anyways. So yeah, those are the results. So the End of Oak Street flopped. Paw Patrol probably did okay. 6, the musical, the live. What did this? 11? Well, I don't know what it did. It might be a musical, so maybe it's all profit for that. The Brink of War, I'm gonna say it flopped. But it looks good though. Check that one out for sure. The Rivals of Amziah King looks pretty long. They said it was long, I think. Kind of drags a little bit. But the guy wrote and directed on his own. So, and it's his second movie or something. That's awesome. So, but unfortunately it flopped, I guess, with $1 million. There's no way these budgets are not like under 20 for some of these. You know what I'm saying? Well, one of them obviously is 80, whatever we just saw. Nimrods down here in 16th place, 910. I feel like Green Day, and I feel like they self-funded this maybe, or the studio did it, and they wrote it though. They're involved with the writing. They must have their own money in it, right? I wouldn't you? I feel like that'd be a good thing to be able to I don't know, just to be able to say, hey, that's our own money in there. So yeah, I guess that one flopped though. Oh well, I don't know. It depends though. If 910 is all profit, then it did okay. It's not in a lot of theaters, so that's gonna affect it. And I think that was it. So, yep, those are all the results for those films. I am gonna end this episode here. Oh, I'm actually gonna add in the upcoming films, movies that we're gonna check in on in the next episode. I might as well put that here. So these are the movies that we're gonna be checking out. In the next episode on Thursday, Friday, whatever. August 18th is gonna be the re-release of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Well, which one though? With Rob Zombie or the original? Oh, the original? Wow, cool. And then August 21st, Thursday or Friday, whatever. Hotspot from Focus Features. And then we're going to check out Insidious Out of the Further. Wow, they're doing another one. Jesus. From Sony. It Ends from Neon, not the streamer. Mutiny from Lionsgate with Jason Statham. That I saw some stuff. That looks fun. Probably going to be a fun one. Spa Weekend, Black Bear Pictures. That's funny. I think that's with Anna Faris. I think. And then Tony from A24. Wow. Another A24 film. And that's it. So 1, 2, 3. We're not going to be checking out Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just Hotspot, Insidious, It Ends, Mutiny, Spa Weekend, and Tony. We'll check those out in the next episode. Upcoming in the next few episodes, next few weeks. Coyote versus Acme. I cannot wait for that. I think that's going to be so much fun. I think that's going to be fun. Not much competition, right? What are they going to compete with? Not much. They have a good chance. I hope they don't mess it up. I think Warner Brothers, whatever, right? They really need a win. So I hope that movie does well. Anyways, these are the films we'll be checking out in the next episode. And I will wrap up this episode right here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace.